So hello and welcome. That's what I'm going to say. A little bit of a difference today in terms of what we'd normally be videoing. It's the A2A Comanche. It's not at an Orbex airfield, no. But those more observant of you will have noticed that this all looks different. I mean, those clouds, they're volumetric, and I'm not even using Rex 4 right now. And those trees. Well, actually, it's not so much the trees because they're Orbex. They are Orbex. But no, what happened was I went a bit crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have we are now running prepared 3D version 2.4. Now I know version 3 is the best thing since sliced bread and all that, but I'm not ready to go that far just yet. I actually do have it. I looked at it and I don't like it for a number of reasons, which I'm not obliged to discuss. So first things first, just quickly get ourselves Rex release. That's the wrong way. So we're just going to get ourselves very quickly turned out of the stand. We are going to take a GPS with us, even though we don't need one. Parking brake is set. Towing is off now. Okay, damage is enabled. We've uncovered everything. That's the main thing. I have walked around the aircraft before I started the video. I don't know why I've got such a stammer all of a sudden. Probably the sudden caffeine influx, but hey ho. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to start this aircraft. I haven't flown it in so long, I probably can't. So I'm going to very quickly get myself up the checklist, which is into clipboard, I believe. Yep, there it is. My mini controls are coming back up to help me get rid of the yokes because they're getting in my way. I know what it is. The tide. There we go. Control lock needs to come out. There we go. Then the yoke's gone. Master switch on. Prop in, mixture in, fuel tank sufficient. Okay, primer. 1, 2, 3, and turn that back in. I said squiggle there for some reason. I don't know why. Fuel pump is on now. We'll bring radios online. I'm also just steaming up in here because it's getting because we're talking and we aren't ventilating the aircraft, and it's raining outside because it's a humid day. So apart from that, rotating beacon is on. pitot heat can come on because it's a cold day, as I've just said. The ignition to both. I'm just going to get the joystick on my knee so I can control the aircraft if it suddenly lurches forward. Now we'll just quickly run through the checks. Pre-flight complete, passengers well. Okay, we're going down Newcastle, briefed. Seatbelts, shoulders on, flaps are up, radios are off. Circuit breakers are all in, all electrical switches are off, rotating beacon on, carpet off, fuel selectors, desired tank, gear switches down, yep. Engine starting, throttle is cracked. Mixture fully rich. Master switch on, check gear lights green. Fuel pump on, check pressure. Pressure is over there. That's not indicating. We'll hopefully be able to fix that. Prime. That's fuel pressure. Okay. Prop is clear. Clear prop. And start. Come on. Sustain the start. You can do it. Right, plan B, because that isn't working. There we go, aeroplane now suddenly works. And comms can go to, transponder can go to alt. We're not using any radio nows today. This is going to be a little bit of a review of P3D as well as everything else. I'm just going to taxi it off down here. I've actually been to this airfield because it's my local GA strip. And apparently you're not supposed to taxi down this tarmac, but I'm doing it anyway because it's tarmac. I like tarmac. Well, it's actually gravel in the real world. but this portrays it as being concrete. Now the route for today's flight, burp, is due south, heading 180 for 10 nautical miles. I was going to shoot an LS approach, but there's no need. Hello, buddy. Hi. So now we'll just set our comms up to work a bit better. 11425. That's a DME for. Oh crap! I applied too much thrust. 11425. That should give us a DME on the wherever it shows us DMEs in this aircraft. Okay, it's not going to show us DMEs. That's actually, it wouldn't show us DMEs because we aren't over the. It's a line of sight thing, isn't it? Really. So. Just get us into the runway. The runway actually looks like this in the real world, and contrary to this, they actually land off on kind of was the middle, because the far left is aircraft parking. I've pushed an aircraft across this runway actually. Fun fact for the future. 80 knots. Ooh, there we go. Gear up. Just be cautious that I've got a crosswind from the left actually, but I'm veering the other way. Okay, so it's actually not doing too badly for itself today. I love this aircraft. I haven't flown it for a while. And for a change, the frame rate's actually at the same or a similar rate that I'm capturing it. If you look out there, yep, the C's fixed itself because it was green the last time I tried to make a video. And we'll make a turn to the south, turning right, sorry. I'm also just going to pull back a little bit of thrust. And we're descented. Well, sorry, turn slip indicator centered, which is good. Very good, yeah. Okay. So actually what we'll do is, we had two options. One was to hand rail the A1 motorway, which is, to give you an idea, that road, which has disappeared. It's just about there, and then it runs kind of like down there for the airport, because there's actually a sign there saying low flying aircraft be aware. Okay, power off because we aren't going much higher than this. It's a nice short 10 nautical mile flight. But what I'm actually going to do is we'll just fly it down the coast because I've decided that's probably going to be a more scenic route for you guys who don't know Northumberland so well. So I'm just going to check my trim in this thing. Where's the trim? Oh, it's a pipe that's on the ceiling. Okay, it isn't actually doing anything. Okay. So as I said, we're tracking outbound to the coast. This is actually no longer there, but when it was, this was a massive open cast mine. So massive open mine, quite a blot on the landscape if you ask me. Up there, that's the town of Amble, I believe. Very nice fishing village, and where I seem to make all my mistakes whilst doing driving lessons. We'll look down to the south. Oh, we'll have a look closer when we fly down that way. As I say, even on my low-end PC, it's running absolutely amazingly at the minute. I mean, you can tell just by the smoothness of doing manoeuvres like this that. Anyway, that the manoeuvres of that it's running at a constant smooth pace. I mean, in FSX, which I haven't fully abandoned, by the way, I'm going to add that. I was flying on it yesterday for that matter. But in FSX, I wouldn't really dare. You know, I wouldn't do stuff like that because it would probably just go into a kind of a lag at this stage. I don't understand why. This is Jurridge Bay we're flying down now. It's a big nature reserve. I should close that. We're deafening you. Deafening. There we go. English is much English. Let me just scroll that forward again. How what if I go for a neutral trim setting? Okay, so coming up now on the nose, that town that's going to be disappearing below, that's actually the town of Newbiggin by the Sea. That's where my grandma lives. Over there, that's Woodhorn Lake. That's a actually reclaimed brownfield site. Well, technically brownfield site. Just off on the 11 o'clock there, so 1 o'clock even, other way. You can see just the lights of Newcastle Airport, and I've got no idea how come you can see them, because in the real world you'd be struggling to see the airport from here. Trust me. I can now push the second button of the gear, which takes the gear to the off position, which locks it up. Something I was kind of a bit tired of from doing when we were airborne. And my speed, I've got to be really quite cautious with it, is actually at 170 knots right now, because it's quite a fast little aeroplane, is the Comanche. And the lead dev at, well, slash owner at A2A, obviously the company that develops this aircraft, actually put a thing on Facebook saying that his family one of his family members had left their passport at home and with the border crossing before they realised, which was about a 200-mile drive. So he jumped into his Piper Comanche and flew their passports up to the border to the next, to the nearest airport, the border crossing, and he was there in something like an hour and a half, which, well, not even that, because obviously it's a Comanche, but it was, you know, quite a significant drive, and just saying how fast the aircraft is and, you know, how much it basically saved the day. So we'll track inbound towards the aerodrome now. Look, where the camera's pointing about now is actually I live over there. So, well, actually where the aeroplane's pointing right now is where I live. Off on the right, that's Camas and North Blythe. Over on the other side of the river, that is Blythe itself. I don't know, actually, yeah, I suppose we are flying south. 101 knots of airspeed right now. Still quite a nippy little aircraft. It's the Comanche. I don't have track I am afraid, so I can't do all the pretty stuff, but yeah. I just love doing barrel rolls today for some reason. Also, I might be doing a video with a friend of mine in the future who's who went to a certain large flight training company and applied for a scholarship there, and said, "Oh, can you teach me how to flight sim?" I was like, "Okay." You, who's applied to be a real pilot, unlike me, because I can't for a number of reasons, well, one reason mainly, is asking me to teach you how to fly an aeroplane. That is absolutely flipping glorious. Okay, Control Shift. Meh. There we go. My rudder stopped working for some reason. Anyway, but it's just, I love P3D. It's visually, it's a much prettier than FSX. It's, as well, you can see it runs better, and I don't know if that's just because it's quite a clean sorry guys, quite a clean install at this stage. There we go. Or that it's just, you know, well, I suppose it's got a better codec in it anyway, and it's much prettier than FSX in its own right. And this is, I actually do have Rex textures in for the sea and for the runway, and for default airports, but obviously we haven't actually flown from any default airports yet today. I'm just going to do wee. I actually had some major FPS loss because I had the wrong Rex 4 textures configured. Because I think I had DXT5 and I needed DXT3. For some reason DXT5 really looks gorgeous, but handles pretty badly. But I fixed everything now, so it is all good. It's all good. Whoa. PI hose. Another reason I put the gear at the off position is obviously we're in sim, so it won't make much of a difference. But it first time I ever flew the Comanche, which was a video for this channel actually, and it I'll probably put the link in the show notes. I actually managed to land it without any landing gear because it was because I'd hit G to retract it and G to put it down, and I didn't look. So I'd actually not landed that I landed without any landing gear. So I had to splice the video to make it look like I hadn't made that mistake. I think it was actually two-part. I might have done it. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it was up at Oban in Scotland. Right, gear down. Just because we are kind of... Actually, it's a bit early to put gear down. If you're in a 7.3, they'd put the gear down about now. I don't know why my joystick's moving up at that direction. I'm trying to increase the nose on because I think there's a slight error on it. Which, I mean, if you look at that, it could just be the aircraft as well, because I'm the only person in the aircraft, so obviously it's unevenly loaded. I'll have an investigate. A look-see investigate. I could also turn that GPS on. I mean, I'll turn it on just for you guys. Okay, it should turn on, but I don't need it because aerodrome's there. Gear is coming down. Flaps. Another lump. Flap full. Right. We can now... I know I've probably... Well, definitely put the flap out far too soon. But it's just to bring us down to a nice and slow speed. About 90 miles an hour is what I'm looking for. I can settle with 80 then. And the clicking sound you can hear in the background of like that is actually me drinking a can of Relentless, because that's what this day is going to be. Relentless. You'll notice I'm completely off the pappies, but those of you who fly GA in the real world, at least who fly it for the Royal Air Force, will know that you literally just do this and let the aircraft descend at VREF. So I am, I suppose, a little bit on the low side, but hey, I don't care. I don't care. Because the haters gonna hate. I'm actually probably going to do the upgrade at Prepared version 3 just for the avatar, so I can get out and I can walk away from the jet like a badass. Because cool guys don't look at airplanes. Actually they do. Cool guys really do look at airplanes. But yeah. Wow, dish plates. Those landing lights need fixing. Oh, those Vassis, sorry. Whoa. There's a little bit of a crosswind I forgot to mention. 8 knots. Which is, I suppose this aircraft's design limit's 15, but that was still quite a... As I say, that does feel good to be back in Flight Simulator, or derivative of Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it does feel very, very interesting after so long. Probably should have done the prop stuff and like that in flight, but to be honest, I was doing this flight just because I had to enjoy it, really, over anything else. I think it must be the prop wash that's pulling us to the side of the runway. We'll vacate onto the turn-off after golf, which I think is hotel probably, because the turn-off at the end to the GA ram's Foxtrot. But yeah, this is golf we're going past, by the way. So that must be a hotel, by logic. Newcastle's not big enough to have anything over a hotel taxiway. You got Alpha Bravo Charlie, Delta, Echo, I've forgotten where Echo is, and we're on the grass. And this is probably the lowest FPS I've had for the whole time I've been playing. There we go, it's back. The whole time I've been flying with the A2A in P3D. I mean, even the Aerosoft Airbus was giving me better frames than this. Ooh, brake. That was the problem. I wasn't actually pushing the brake switch. Right, I'll just stop the aircraft here. And what I can do is I can then just say... Oh. Okay, aircraft now off. We'll switch off the master switch, which switches everything off. I know it's not the proper way to shut the aircraft down. And now what we can do is we can tow the aircraft. And release the parking brake before we try and tow the aircraft. What we're going to do is we're just going to turn the aircraft pretty much on the spot, and then just back ourselves up towards the fence. There we go. That comes off, then I can just put wheel chocks, tie downs, and control locks. There we go. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Our friend here, who's quite formally dressed for today's video, is going to hang around in the aircraft for a bit, whilst we end the video here, as I say, and we'll see you in the next one, folks. Bye bye.